Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, where America took a federal holiday and somehow still left the grill on, the drone running, the court yelling, and the gas pump chewing on everybody's ankle. It is Juneteenth. It is summer, and the news feels like somebody tried to fix a truck by pouring chili in the radiator. Let's walk through the chaos before it starts charging a processing fee. Segment 1. Peace deal with a tow truck hook. President Donald Trump and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed a peace framework in Versailles, which sounds classy until you realize it is basically a ceasefire duct-taped to a gas receipt. The deal sets up a 60-day pause, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, talks sanctions relief, and waves around a giant reconstruction fund like somebody found $300 billion under the couch cushions. Tehran says it will halt nuclear weapons development and let inspectors handle enriched uranium, which is the kind of sentence that makes diplomats smile while regular people check whether the smoke alarm has batteries. The practical point is simple. Oil traffic needs to move, prices need to calm down, and voters were tired of paying war tax prices for regular Tuesday errands. But the deal is already wobbling because Israel and Hezbollah are back at it in southern Lebanon, which is like signing a truce at a wedding while the parking lot fistfight is still going. Vice President J.D. Vance postponed diplomacy. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is being pushed to cool things down, and senators at home are eyeing the money like a raccoon in the church offering plate. Roger Wicker says the asset relief makes the old Iran deal look tiny, while Shelley Moore Capito wants Senate review. So now peace has both fine print and a constitutional side quest. America wants cheaper gas. Critics want proof this is not peace with a balloon payment. And the punchline is, we may have ended a war only to start an argument over who gets the receipt. Segment 2. NATO gets the itemized bill. While the Middle East is getting peace paperwork with smoke stains on it, the Pentagon is telling NATO it may be time to bring its own casserole to the security picnic. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth launched a 6-month review of the U.S. military footprint in Europe and slapped a tech bro label on it, called NATO 3.0. The message is that European allies need to carry more of the defense load, because Washington is tired of being the guy with the truck every time somebody moves apartments. There is also bitterness from the Iran fight, because some allies allowed U.S. base access and others refused, so the alliance is suddenly being read like a bad roommate agreement. That would be enough anxiety for one continent, but Ukraine added a fireworks finale by sending a massive drone barrage toward Moscow and Russian energy infrastructure. Refineries shook, airports paused, and long-range sanctions stopped sounding like banker language and started looking like flying lawnmowers with grudges. The grounded part is ugly but obvious. When big powers drag a war out, smaller countries improvise, and drones become the poor man's aircraft carrier. So while America debates whether Europe deserves the deluxe protection package, Ukraine is proving modern war can look like a farm supply store got hired by the CIA, which leads us back home where the Supreme Court decided to rearrange the rulebook with a leaf blower. Segment 3. Supreme Court says rights, wrongs, and maps. The Supreme Court dropped a stack of rulings that made the federal government look like it brought a fishing net to a knife fight. In United States versus Himani, the court said the government cannot automatically strip gun rights from nonviolent casual drug users just because marijuana is involved. Justice Neil Gorsuch looked at the old habitual drunkard comparison and basically said founding-era barflies are not a constitutional copy machine. That means dangerous or actively intoxicated people can still be disarmed. But every cannabis user cannot be treated like a saloon villain tying somebody to railroad tracks. Then, in Abuamo, the court told prosecutors they cannot drag defendants into whatever district feels convenient just because the investigation office is there. Venue has to match where the alleged conduct happened, not where the government put its favorite conference table, which is a useful reminder that constitutional rights should not require a frequent flyer account. But the loudest political tremor is Louisiana versus Calais, where civil rights advocates say the court gutted key Voting Rights Act protections by letting partisan intent cover maps with racial consequences. So on Juneteenth, groups launched Freedom Summer 2026. Because apparently American democracy keeps needing a reboot, like an old router in a thunderstorm. And the citizen is left holding a folded map, wondering why the polling place moved behind a Bass Pro. Segment 4. Fox buys the remote control. Fox is buying Roku for about $22 billion, which is a sentence that sounds like capitalism swallowed the remote and started charging rent. This is not just a media company buying a shiny box. It is about owning the screen before you even decide what to watch. Roku sits in more than 100 million streaming households, and the home screen is prime real estate, like the end cap at a grocery store but for your eyeballs. Fox already has news, sports, and Tubi, so adding Roku's ad machine means getting closer to the viewer, the data, and the little algorithm goblin deciding what pops up first. That matters because independent creators, rival apps, and other TV makers may discover the digital living room has toll booths. Maybe everything stays fair. Or maybe your TV starts nudging you like a pushy uncle at Thanksgiving saying, "Have you tried this channel I happen to own?" And while all that consolidation happens, the government is funding semiconductor materials. Researchers are testing drone kidney transport. Eli Lilly is chasing non-opioid pain treatment. McDonald's is bringing back fried apple pies, and Crayola is selling adult coloring supplies. That is America in one paragraph. Billion-dollar platform grabs, space-age organ logistics, and grown adults coloring because rent, politics, and push notifications have turned everybody's nervous system into a possum in a ceiling fan. Segment 5. Prices, Fire, Freedom, and the National Mood. For all the giant deals and court rulings, the everyday story is still money leaking out of regular people's pockets, like a John boat with bullet holes. Gas finally dipped under $4 nationally, but that is not relief so much as the pump whispering, "I could have been worse." California drivers are still getting clubbed above $5.60 a gallon, while places like Indiana and Texas look cheaper, but not exactly cheerful. Crude calmed down after the Iran framework, but refining limits, transport costs, fertilizer costs, and spring supply chain messes are all sneaking into groceries like raccoons through a dog door. Meanwhile, South Florida is fighting major wildfires around the Everglades and Miami-Dade, with roads closed, smoke in neighborhoods, and firefighters handling lightning-sparked chaos inland that already behaves like soup with alligators. That emergency sits beside Juneteenth celebrations, Freedom Summer organizing, and the opening of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, so the day feels like a split screen between memory, progress, and somebody yelling that the sky is on fire. There is civic pride, civil rights anxiety, families at festivals, and people checking whether their air filter can survive the afternoon. The national mood is not one thing. It is a parade, a lawsuit, a wildfire map, a gas receipt, and a smart TV asking if you consent to personalized despair. In conclusion, today's news is basically one long argument over who controls the routes. Shipping routes, defense routes, voting routes, streaming routes, drone routes, and the route your paycheck takes before it disappears. The peace deal may lower the temperature. NATO may get a bill, The court may keep rewriting the operating manual. Fox may own the remote. And the economy may keep acting like a vending machine that takes your dollar and laughs. Happy Juneteenth, America. And may your freedom be real, your roads be open, your gas be cheaper, and your television stop spying long enough to let you eat a fried apple pie in peace.